Acton! Yes, Acton. Today we're going to be unboxing and checking out the Acton Blink Quatro. Quatro spelled with a 4. We've been waiting for this board, those of us who backed this project in Indiegogo, for more than a year. I actually got it when it was kind of crappy weather here in Seattle. So today, finally on April 20th, I am going to give it a spin. The first electric longboard with 4 hub motors, so 4-wheel drive. They can have a charger at home and a charger at work, and it's very light. It's much smaller than my OneWheel. It's a solid piece of aluminum. It's pretty heavy. So the question is how stiff it is to ride, given the fact that it has no give at all in the middle. So here's what it looks like. The wheels aren't green, as they had them on their renderings. I would guess this is probably because bright green wheels turn dirty pretty fast, and you know, black is pretty universal. And look at how thick these wheels are. So in order to house both the hub motor and still have contact with the ground, they've made these wheels pretty thick, it looks like. And I think the biggest update that we got really late in the game is the suspension system. Look at this. I don't know if you can see it. Look at that. So it looks like maybe my cameraman can help me out as to what the name of this principle is, where you have basically two pieces of
your composite leaf spring.
Composite leaf spring. So we'll see how that works. All right, so it's powered on. Ooh, look at that. The battery has some charge in it. Front. Look at that. And rear. Wow. That looks crazy. Whoa. Yeah, there's maybe like a third of a second before I felt the brakes kick in. So, let's see. Whoa, yeah, it's pretty sudden. But look, I really like the fact that I have quite a bit of freedom as to where to stand on it to feel comfortable. So I can't wait to take it out for a spin. So today we're going to be testing out a brand new Acton Blink Quatro. It's a longboard that we've been waiting for almost 2 years. It's got 4 hub motors. It's supposed to have a range of about 20 miles and go in about 20 miles an hour, so you can get pretty far on it. So today we're going to test and compare it to my OneWheel Plus, which was announced and released last January to March, I think was their release period, and that's my primary electric vehicle of choice. So I had a longboard before, but I got rid of it because the OneWheel is just so different from the feeling, the radius of the turn is so different. So we're gonna see if I'm gonna be convinced to go back to a longboard today. So with me today is Vlad, who's gonna help me film and test and give his feedback on the 2 electric vehicles. So today we're gonna go as far as we can along the Sammamish River. We're gonna start in Redmond, pretty close to Microsoft's main headquarters, and we're gonna follow the Sammamish River up north, hopefully get to Bothell, maybe have some lunch in Bothell, and we're gonna see if we can get to Kenmore and maybe beyond. I have full charge in both the Blink Quatro and in my OneWheel Plus. Also, I brought an extra external battery pack in order to recharge my OneWheel, which only has a range of about 7 miles if you don't take a lot of turns or go up many hills. And this path is very well paved. It's very smooth. There's not many up and downs, so it's a really nice bike trail. So hopefully I'll get my 7 miles in and I won't have to recharge, but in case we do, I do have that extra external battery pack. I hope it's going to be a fun day. We have a nice sunny April 20th, 420. It's also my birthday, as it happens to be. A beautiful sunny Friday in Seattle area. Let's go for a ride. Okay, so the only way I can make it up a bridge like this is to be very slow or do little zigzags, but look at what the Blink Quatro can do. It wasn't a problem at all, so woohoo! Okay. So I'm gonna try, keyword try, the longboard. I'm gonna try the Blink. Now, it's a completely different experience, completely different turning radius, and I'm probably gonna fall, but let's go. Oh yeah, it's so stable. Whoa! Whoa! Holy shit. Okay, I'm gonna go back. Wow. Okay, I'm definitely expecting different things on the turn. I like how smooth it is. I like the feel the vibration of the road.
Yes.
Whoa, the braking is so sudden. I really feel the potential, and this is not even on the expert. I really feel the potential of this thing. It really feels solid. It really feels like I can just unlock like a whole lot of speed with this thing. But yeah, I'm afraid of it right now, honestly. Just specifically on the back and forth on the turns, it just feels very weird. So I think I'm gonna stick to my OneWheel for this trip, and then maybe slowly get used to switching between them, because that's a totally different experience. So we just had lunch in Bothell at the cottage, and I tried to recharge my OneWheel battery a little bit more, but I only got from 20% to 33%. So, and I recharged it, I had about, to get here, I used up about 150% of its normal charge. So this means I'm not gonna get very far from here on out. So our plan right now is to essentially go as far as we can, further along the trail, and then when my OneWheel dies, which hopefully it will happen a little bit later, because I know it gets stuck at 1 or 2% for a while. So once it dies, we're just gonna walk to the nearest road and grab an Uber to get to our car. So that's the plan so far. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
Here we go. It's kind of nice. It's a place for cyclists and for parking at the same time. rowing team, and I guess their coach or their captain. Look. So you're full braking mode, right?
Right now, yeah. This is 100%.
And it's still kind of going, right? It's still sort of accelerating.
Yeah. I could still safely get off of it if I wanted to.
Nice.
I mean, it wasn't bad, yeah, it was good.
Okay, so we finally turned on the Pro mode, right? To
Yes.
give you the full acceleration that the board gives. And we weren't filming, so what do you think about the Pro mode relative to the normal mode that you were using before?
So in regular mode, the beginner mode, we're seeing speeds probably around 17 miles an hour, which I was used to riding a non-powered deck. And in Pro mode, you know, my estimate is, you know, it's definitely above 20 miles an hour, but it was getting to the point where it's scary, and especially noticeable in deceleration, where I was braking and I was getting the speed wobble, which I've only had once going downhill on a skateboard and having a speed wobble of death and effectively losing my control. So it is a bit scary, but still within tolerance. And I've already had it at 100% full throttle, and it's amazing.
So to somebody who is like super cautious like I am, can you explain what the death wobble is? I've never heard that term before.
Yeah, the death wobble is, you can see, you know, it happens with anything where you're going faster than the machine was designed for. So it can happen on a bicycle, it can happen in a car, it can happen on a motorcycle. In fact, motorcycles have stabilizer shocks that will stabilize the handlebars from wobbling at high speeds. So basically what happens is that once you reach fast enough speed, a slight vibration of the road will make you turn one way, and essentially you find a resonance, and it makes you want to turn one way and then the other way, and that's when cars start losing control one way or the other.
Oh, I see. So it's indicative. So it's sort of like, so it's how you lose control of any moving vehicle, right? So you get into the resonance of some sort of
suspension and wheel control, yeah.
So it's like you hit the limits of. So are you saying that if you felt the speed wobbles of this device, is that it can accelerate further beyond kind of a safe level? Is that what you're trying to say?
What I'm saying is that I would feel the onset of the wobble, and that's when my body would get really stiff, and I would want to make sure that I do not let it get out of hand. Whether it could get worse, where it could, you know, the amplitude of the turns get to a point where I lose control, I don't know. And honestly, I'm not ready to try that out yet. So.
You seem like you were having fun, but it sounds like that fun was partially coming from you being kind of nervous about what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, it took probably, you know, I'm an experienced rider on the board, but it's still, on a powered deck, you know, I felt internal hesitation to ride. And this is, you know, one point I want to make clear is that, you know, this is definitely where you want to have full protection gear when you have it in expert mode and you're going, you know, 20, 25 miles an hour, catching up to bicyclists and cyclists and passing them, which is crazy. But here's full throttle.
Go ahead. Uphill.
All right, how does it feel?
Okay, so my calves and my feet are burning. I can't feel my toes. So this is our second break. We're probably about 5 miles in, and yeah, I haven't ridden in a while, so I'm too stiff when riding. So we're taking a break to get our bearings straight, and I'm gonna go the other way so I can balance things out a little bit. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. My calves are definitely tired. The balls of my feet, you know, are not used to this, but it's great. Like a very nice scenic ride, and the board feels great.
Yeah, and we see all these cyclists passing us, and their weight is distributed between their ass, which is sitting on a seat,
right,
and their arms and their feet. So we're kind of really putting all this weight on our feet, even though we're not actually putting any effort into the locomotion. we're still kind of tired. All right, we made it all the way to Kenmore. It was a total of about 12 miles. Yeah, about 12 miles. With a break in between. We went pretty much along a very smooth trail. We went up and down about 100 meters. That's what the app said. And my battery ran out on my OneWheel. So that's the limitation. Otherwise, we would have gone further. And now we're waiting for our Uber.